could you walk us through what exposition convocation means, please?
So, so let's say for me, so one of the stories that fired for me my environmental kind of passion for campaigning was when I was a kid. The big moment that took you from a little kid to a big kid in my small town, growing up on the same lines, were the kids who were allowed to bike to the beach, all by themselves. And I remember being 10 years old, and that first summer where I could bike to the beach. And what I realized though was when I got there, half the time it was closed. And I was so upset, and it seemed so wrong. You know, it was like they knew when I could go to the beach, and they just closed it on purpose. It was I had this real anger on with the head lifeguard, and I could never understand, and they would tell me it was polluted, and I didn't understand what that meant. And so I remember after that summer, I got into my class and was just like, you know, what is this pollution? I don't understand. And I had a great teacher who was really able to identify for me what it meant that the water was polluted, that it was toxic, that there were industries and farms that were you know, basically dumping into the river in such a way that it made it bad for me to swim in. And I couldn't believe that anyone was allowed to do this. I was, you know, it was one thing to close the beach, but it was another thing to, you know, basically destroy the whole river. And I remember, you know, even at that young age, that I needed to find a way to stop these people, that it was wrong, that, you know, just when I got my chance, they would take it away from me, you know, all my beach fun. And that was something for me that really fired. So my character basically had this real, you know, idyllic view of the world. and then I hit that complication. And it kept getting a little bit more confusing, right? That there were, you know, first my beach is closed, then there's these pollution kind of barriers that I didn't understand. And, you know, eventually I hit a place where I kind of found out for me that this was going to be my focus, my drive. The resolution of this problem was possible, and that it really spoke to the importance of justice and protection, and that was my fire. So that's an example, and I know we all have one. We all have a story where something happened that helped to fire a value in us that drives us in our work. And it's, especially as nonprofit employees, if we didn't have really strong values, we probably wouldn't be here. So this is a tool that you can use to build connections between you and your audience. They start to relate to you as someone who isn't just here for a paycheck. You're here because you care, and they care, and this is where you meet. These are values that define your relationship. So I hope that was clear. I hope that little sample story kind of makes sense and helps you to relate to me as an individual a little bit more. But what I would love for you to do is go back to your story and start to think about it in terms of my character, my challenge, my aha moment, and the value. And try to think about it in terms of your campaign. What is the campaign value as well? What is it that we're trying to do? Is it about protection? Is it about you know, injustice? What are these values that we share that you know, basically our campaigns and ourselves as campaigners are telling?